And so to have God speak to us and say, this is what I want you to do next, is excellent guidance, and we won't be guided wrong. We'll be guided right. With the saving strength of his right hand. Now this next verse 7, there's a song. Some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. And I think that it was the Mormons who who made the song, but it's a great song. And so from this verse into the next chapter, he's changing his theme. And who more than David to know the difference between peace and war? One of the longest books that colleges used to have people read is a book called War and Peace. And I think it's longer than the Bible.
Oh, really?
It's a long book, and it's easy to lose what character is being talked about. But so here David is saying he's won a lot of battles, but it wasn't because his trust was in the chariot. It wasn't because his trust was in an arrow. The trust was in God. He used horses, he used arrows, he used fighting, but his trust was in God. And so if we studied David, because I was in the military, I studied what are some of the concepts of the Bible about war and peace. And one concept is trusting God. Another concept is don't be the aggressor if the person you're aggressing against is not wrong. And if somebody is definitely wrong and they've raised trouble against you, you can defend yourself. But God, in many battles, sometimes those battles Israel lost because they were the aggressor when their neighbors were not harassing them or doing anything against them, but they said, I'm going to take over. And sometimes they lost their battles because who they went to war against was more righteous than they are. So we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They have bowed down and fallen who trusted in chariots and in horses. They lost their chariots, they lost their horses. They have bowed down and fallen. When Pharaoh went with chariots and horses after the Egyptians, they were drowned in the sea. And there are a few battles that David had where all of the enemy's horses and chariots were all burned. David burned the chariots and hamstrung, not in every battle, but one of the battles, he hamstrung the horses. So the horses could walk, but they wouldn't be able to run a charge in the military in a battle. And so don't trust in now. Don't trust in tanks. Don't trust in the aircraft that comes off of the Air Force fields. But it doesn't mean you can't fly in one. Some people don't trust a plane; they won't fly in an airplane. But and don't trust nuclear warheads, but trust in God. And then we'll have a reduction of the more trust of God is, the more we'll know that we don't have to build up armaments. And save, Lord. And that word is when Jesus came into the